All right, everybody, we are live and we are going to kick this off very shortly. So if you're in here, feel free to get the chats going and we will get started soon. All right, here we go. How is everybody doing?
Hey. Doing good.
We got Cozy in the house. We got Di. How's it going?
Good. How about yourself?
Yep, good, thanks. And as always, Bloodgate.
Hey, what's up, DSA?
Luddles.
All right. Luddles. I'd heard that one before. I like it. Okay, so how's it going for everybody this week? Hey, Lonnie.
Hey, Lonnie, welcome. Good. Happy Friday. It is good.
Yep, the weekend, I guess, starts here. I hope you've all had a good week. I do not know why. There you go. There's the game. That's why we're all here. So, what has been going on with the game this week? I guess the biggest news would be the update to the Aladdin teams in faction, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's was an unexpected change. Curious to hear Di and Lud, y'all's thoughts. Did you guys think anything was coming? Did they was the Aladdin team nerfed before this or buffed before this? Ever?
No.
Yeah,
Not really.
Genie was nerfed before he was released.
How was he nerfed?
How was he?
Sup, Superstar Dalinar in the house as well.
I don't remember
welcome.
the Genie nerf, but like obviously they were changed since the 8.0 update. But yeah, that was a huge buffer that makes them much more viable. I mean, Aladdin didn't get anything, but he didn't need it. But the other three, it's great.
Good to know.
Yeah. Okay, so they've pretty much, from when I came in my late beta, it was always kind of similar. That was kind of one of the first events that kept cycling around. They were always pretty good then. So what is the what do you think the most important update on any of the characters in the Aladdin faction? Or we'll go with Cozy first.
Oh, it's tough actually because there's two characters that got changed the most, but I'll try to pick one. For me, and I know the other one is great too, but I think Genie, seeing Genie get, I'm just a big Genie fanboy too. So seeing Genie get the love that he deserves, putting out some massive damage now with his basics, or consistent damage, should I say, and adding that invincibility to his never had a friend like me is awesome. Killer.
Yeah, it seems awesome, man. Lud, what do you think the most important part of this Aladdin update is for you?
As much as the Genie changes are great and make him more usable, Jasmine was really poor before the update, and now she's up there with one of the best tanks. And like when she summons Raja acts pretty much as just a beefy damage character. Only do basics, but like he's deflecting a lot of the damage away onto himself, keeping the normal team alive. So it's that, to me, it's her because she's now actually usable, where before she would always just be passed over once you get past level 40 or so.
Yeah, they gave her a nice little speed boost.
Yeah, she's faster than who's she faster than? She's faster than Aladdin,
everybody,
right?
now. Yeah, I think she's online with what is she? I just made the video. She's 120, yeah?
I think it was like 118, something like that.
Jafar's 116, so is she 120, Lud? I think she's 120.
I'm checking right now. She's 118. She's 118.
118, so she's faster than Jafar. That's killer though. That's speed.
Yeah, that's fast for what is she classified as? Support, right?
No, she's a defense still.
She's defense, yeah.
Well, she's defense. All right, especially with Raja there, and that's kind of the biggest buff, right? Is Raja? He's the one that really got the boost there in the whole thing.
Well, she's the fastest defense character now. I mean, she doesn't get the taunt off as fast as Kristoff if you're running a full Frozen team, but just one-on-one for defensive characters, she's the fastest one.
Nice. So we've got a decent selection of tanks in an era where tanks are actually viable now, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, taunts are hard to get rid of.
Yeah, so what? The two main tanks are still going to be what at this point? Mordu, and Kristoff.
Well,
Here's
but
the
now you
say.
got Jasmine, you got Bob if needed. So I think there's a few options now for tanks.
Kristoff for sure, Bob for sure. If you're running Incredibles on your team, if you're not, his value drops off a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hearing a lot of people saying that they're preferring Jasmine over Mordu in the standard Shen Yu team.
Really?
Mhm.
Huh.
Well, yeah, just because that
So-
speed boost, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's even less of a reason for me to be investing into Mordu at this point, seeing as I never did. I'm literally on 45 out of 50, and I've been deciding, like, what am I going to do?
I would go for Anna if I were you. Anna is great. I am loving
Yeah.
her on my team. But she's not even
Yeah, I
maxed, and I'm still picking her over my contingent of max characters.
Right.
Yeah,
So that might be the way to go.
yeah, they gave like Genie. I was just talking about that. Genie's like such a good support now, but I still can't put him over what Anna has to offer. Like her kit just has so much with the haste, speed boost, the AOE, mass AOE. Real quick, what's up, Talu, Dud, Ridge? Thanks for coming in, and Matthew, welcome in, my friend. But yeah, I agree. I think Anna's just disgustingly good.
I'm actually running both of them at the moment.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
2 supports for the first time ever.
Yeah, that's new.
So yeah, so
I like.
we out of
I
Oh, go and die.
I ended up liking the Jafar boost. I like his passive. It can hit. So far, I've hit up to 8K with an assist with his. What's that called?
His breath of fire.
Yeah, his breath of fire. It is hit up to 8K crit with. That's just an assist.
Yeah, his something that people forget about Jafar is his. First of all, his critical damage is over the norm. Like I think he's at 168%, like a 1.6 multiplier. But man, he lays out the damage die. I haven't seen a max one. I haven't used one. How fun is it?
It's real fun now. It's always been fun on manual, but now he gets his charm faster. His delayed damage is slower, but his charm's faster. His charm's always been good. It's 2 turns on one character. His breath of fire is faster. My apologies. Breath of fire is faster, and it's just I've got him up to 4 assists per 1 match. So.
And I like the theory crafting that you can do with him because like his hourglass, right? It's like putting this time bomb on the enemy.
Yeah.
And then now that you can spread it, I want to see down the line kind of if there's any interactions with spreading that, putting more debuffs, making that clock down go faster, and then you get a big hit. I mean, there's some big damage after that, right, Dai?
Oh yes, there is.
Awesome.
All right, so pretty much in terms of accessibility, Jafar's probably out of reach for a lot of people, especially until that event comes back around. So out of the accessible free-to-play characters, we're pretty much going with like Jasmine kind of wins out on this one, is probably the most improved here.
Yeah, viability wise, I can
most.
see that.
Genie a close second,
Kinda more.
but he was like debatably usable in the right setup. She just benefits more from it.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I'm storing up all these tokens. I guess we're going Anna then, right? Because Mordu's not going to be. I'm so far away from that anyway, and I need to go and rank up all these other Frozen characters for the next time around. How far are you guys getting in the Frozen thing? Because that's still happening with everything else going on. Frozen is still only wrapping up by the end of this weekend. So where did you get up to, Cozy?
I don't have it up right now, but I know it's looking like I'll end up getting 7 stars. I know a lot of people are seeing that they progress further than they thought by the end of the event. If you were diligent and grinded every day and at least did maybe 50 refreshes and things like that, you're able to unlock a good amount with some RNG. So I'm looking to be able to get, I might have to get a couple packs, maybe 2, maybe 3 on Olaf, but I'm looking to be able to get 7 stars.
Yeah, it did seem Olaf was the hardest one, and especially in drop rates for me. I don't know if that was the same for everyone
Him and
else,
Spin,
but yeah, I mean, exclusively free to play without doing too many refreshes on those nodes. Like, no, you were never gonna get Elsa unlocked. That just wasn't gonna happen. You had to at least be spending refreshes on the nodes. And kind of as predicted, at the time we did the show last week, we had double drops on Sven, and then they started doing one for each of the characters, like 48 hours each over the event. So it did make it a little better for free to play, and you can and could have got up there, but it was unless you really lucked out and got a little extra assistance somewhere, then you probably weren't going to get Elsa this time around. So what'd you get, Jalad? You anywhere close to an Elsa or
No. I
no?
I pulled the 1800 pack 3 times just to test my luck. My first 2 pulls were really poor, but on the third one I got stupid lucky and I got a full 330 on Anna. So I've been gearing her up. She's getting close to being done. The other ones, they're all sitting at 4-star. I might push the last couple days just to get an Elsa unlock. But I'm actually leaning towards just grinding them over the next few months and then just getting Elsa on the rerun.
Especially if Aladdin's,
I think that,
if Aladdin's bumping you up, Lud, yeah. I mean, but Elsa's usable. Elsa's usable at all levels.
I'll see what the next few days in the tournament are like. But if I'm able to grab one of the top spots consistently still, I think I'll just save the gems for something else.
ooh, this is a good point. Puddles in the chat. Do you think they release an Elsa store pack? Because that's happened.
No way.
It would 2 days left in the event. Usually they would have released the marquee character pack by now.
I think there's no
it always
chance.
came out by now, right?
I think there's no chance. It's a legend. It's a legendary character. It's a new type of character, and I don't think that we're gonna see any packs when it comes to them. I don't even like, down the line. Even I don't think so.
Maybe on like at the end of the second, I'd say probably more on the third or fourth run if they do that many. This particular one, the way it's set up, that all the characters are farmable. That means like even when the event goes away, you can prep for when it comes back and just farm up those characters to 7-star. Event comes back, boom, you've got a full Elsa, off you go.
So we think they're going to keep this event in similar rotation to others, or is it going to be longer before this one comes back?
I think longer, personally, but what do you guys think?
You know, it's hard to say. They haven't really established a pattern too much. They've only repeated one event since global launch so far, the Onward one. We're getting Aladdin back the second time, but they were back to back once the game launched, and there was an event in between them this time. So it might get spaced out a little more. It might be more than 2 months before this one's back. I could even see them holding it till December and winter. And only bring it back then. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but
yeah, because Chandler's hoping they don't drop like new meta teams every month. I don't think they will, Chandler, because if they are going to release anything big, like when Hercules or the Lilo and Stitch lot managed to make it into the game, I don't think they're going to waste them. They're going to eke them out slowly and get maximum impact on them rather than just like monthly new everything all the time. Because even for Wales, that's asking a lot of just constant updates and spends. So they're probably gonna slowly bring all those new supposed or maybe new meta teams. But I think Frozen's probably going to be about the only one that's going to instantly go meta. The other ones maybe. But Cozy, your theory on Hercules stuff is that they got to be good, right?
Oh yeah, I don't think there's a chance. I think Hercules is gonna be really strong. I think Stitch is gonna be really strong. I mean, but everything that comes out won't. Like me and Lud, I think we're talking about this, right? Lud, about like maybe Big Hero 6 comes out and they're not, crazy. I think that they should continue to do, buffing the characters that we have already, and then introducing a new character in there is a healthy way to go about it.
Yeah, it seems about right.
Yeah, I'd like to see like a 3 event style rotation where you do one new event that drops new characters, and then you have another event that has a buff to current characters, and like maybe like one new character related added. Like for example, if they did a Peter Pan release, they buff Tinkerbell and Hook, and then you use them to get Peter Pan, that type of thing, and then like just a full on rerun of something, and then the next one you start that 3 cycle again. That'd be my preference.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good pace because you don't want just to have to be on it all the time. It's nice to actually get a chance to breathe and play with the new stuff.
When it's a full team all at once, that's a lot. That's hard.
Yeah. So, all right. So I think that about covers all the events and updates in those terms. And I guess in terms of downside, we still got news lingering on from last week, which is the Rune Gate. Do you want to take this one, Lud, and give us a quick update on what's happening with that?
Okay, well, since last weekend's live stream that we did, they gave out wrong compensation, then they took it back, and then they decided, no, we're going to give it out, but we're going to wait until Monday to give a definitive answer. And then that definitive answer kind of dragged on and dragged on to, was it yesterday that they finally spoke up about it, or was it Wednesday?
Man, I feel like it's been a whirlwind.
I want to say I only really saw that Meathead post came in sometime today.
You know, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was
yesterday at 5 p.m.
Yeah, because the chat exploded. So they decided that for game balance reasons, they were going to take it back. They were going to undo abilities that were upgraded back to Sunday or Friday, back to last Friday, and then give you the mats for that and then your proper compensation. And it's just been, I mean, like, if this is definitive this time, for game balance reasons, it's probably the right call. The way it was handled is maybe not ideal. It just seems to me like there was a bunch of rush decisions. But, you know, hopefully everyone learns from this going forward. You know, if something like this ever happens again, they just take the time to decide what they want to do and make the right call.
Die Maker, what's your opinion on all this?
Yeah, I agree. They did it wrong. Somebody clicked the wrong button. Somebody. I mean, I don't think all the employees of Glue play. So somebody that doesn't play didn't know that they changed or forgot or something. I don't know. It was handled wrong, of course. But you're talking to a guy who's played since Soft Launch started and has invested into things that got nerfed or whatever, you know. Right. So, you know, I've been through it all. I know the frustration. I know the anger. I can sympathize. But I'm still here.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Didn't you have a Max Pocahontas when she was crazy overpowered?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, and for those who don't know, Pocahontas used to be like an insane healer where like you just could not defeat a team that had Pocahontas on it. And then from one day to the next, they reduced her healing by 90% and made her useless.
90?
Was it?
90.
Wow.
Yeah,
it was. Was it easy to get Pocahontas or?
No, not really.
lot of gems.
And how do we get Pocahontas these days? Is it only in that exchange store?
No, she's farmable on her node as well.
She's on a node.
Yeah,
she's on a node.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I think overall, yeah, Wes, you're right. It was a week ago because I remember thinking that, like, I was talking to Meathead actually, and it was Friday. So it's like, you know, all the devs have lives outside of the game too. So like they're about to go home, right? About to call it quits for the weekend. And then somebody, you know, clicked the wrong button or whatever that might have been. And wow, it probably took a lot of hours to figure out even what to do temporarily.
Yeah, so where are we at resolution wise? Are they sticking to what they just released now, or
they would have to? They have to. They have to.
They're going into the effective accounts. They're undoing the ability upgrades, and they're giving the mats back that they're supposed to have, and the proper compensation. But they're doing them manually, so it's not everyone getting it done at the same time. I know a bunch of people who have had it done already. They're less than impressed. But yeah, they said it would take a couple days.
I'm checking mine right now. Mine wasn't touched this morning and or this early afternoon, and I'm hopping on this second. Let's see. Oh man, I've got a lot of messages. Oh, here it is. Yeah.
So what are you gonna lose?
I got it. Okay.
It's happened?
Yeah.
What did you lose?
I don't know what I lost, right? I just know what I gained. I got a compensation reward with 1,000 500 alphas. Seems like a fair amount. 216 beta and only 60 gamma. So I just want to know like what that means. So I'm going to like Elsa. Holy smokes. Okay. Wow, that sucks.
Those runes are ones that you should have had, that you'd earned legitimately, that they had to take off because instead of determining, okay, you upgraded this and this with your erroneous runes, they just said, okay, anything you upgraded from the time you collected that pack, we're undoing all of those upgrades, keeping the runes that were given by mistake, but giving you back the rest so that you can like choose what to upgrade. So
I can already tell they messed up though. So it's already messed up on my end for sure. Like
it's all human error. Of course, it's going to be problems, right?
Yeah, all my frozen characters are back to level 1, which you guys I stream, so I have like proof that that wasn't before Friday. I think it was supposed to be before Friday. So cool. I'm just not finding out about that. Whatever. But we'll figure that out later. But yeah, that's essentially what I thought. It was supposed to be anything Friday moving forward. Yeah.
So is your stream later going to be let's fix my frozen team stream?
Twitch tonight is going to be Cozy upgrading his heroes, and that's it.
Well,
back again.
I don't. Yeah, they took. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to digest that. They took more than they gave back. I can tell you that. So, because 60 gammas, I don't think that's gonna even. That's crazy. That's like one level 3 or level 2. Yeah, it was way more than that.
Depending on the ability.
Oh man. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, at least you've got your videos because, like Chandler and probably everyone else has been taking screenshots of all their characters so they can figure out the difference. That's everyone's got a lot of things to protect and look at if they had that problem. So not great. So I guess, yeah, not the best resolution. I don't think anyone was really happy with that. I guess all it's done really is made the people who didn't get any of that or were screaming unfair, unbalanced in the game. I guess it quietens them down, but no, it's sadly one of those things that just nothing really positive to say about it.
No,
but at least it's apart from it's hopefully ended now.
It got to a point where no matter what they did, there was going to be a segment of the population that was unhappy and very vocal about it.
I'm actually I'm for okay. I mean, after having my own account messed with, right? Like they definitely messed up on my account again, but I'm for the change. I think that it's. Not for it. Okay, I'm okay with it. I think I understand it and it's healthy. It's healthy for new coming players. They would have to change everything about the alpha, beta, gamma ruins. They would have to change gym rates. I mean, they would have to change everything to make things even again. I don't know. It was a tough decision. I'm fine with it, but I've got to now figure out what I have left.
Yeah, I think basically what you're trying to say is that personally, it's going to cause you grief. You're not fine with that, but overall for the betterment of the game as a whole and the balance in the community, then you're good with that decision in those terms.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a hard one for everyone. So Dai, got any last thoughts on RuneGate?
Nope.
And that's the final word on that. So let's move on through to our top 10 of the week, and with everything going on, we thought we would bring you a little something about what are the top characters to farm for events. And in at number 10, we've got Syndrome here. So Lud, this was based a lot on your list, so why don't you tell us why Syndrome goes in at number 10 as a most farmable character for event?
Sure. Well, he's very useful in 2 events. Well, 1 event and 1 trial that come around. The Zerg event, of course, and Zerg's really hard to get. He's a great offense character when he's supported with the right team, but you need downtown villains to get that. And Syndrome is one of the better downtown villains you can bring for that event. Additionally, everyone is feeling the gold crunch, and downtown villains are also needed for the Scrooge money bin. So get your DTV built up, get that gold, get that Zerg. Syndrome's needed for that.
So yeah, we last minute changed this list because obviously everything happened with Aladdin and then Frozen came in, but there were quite a few more downtown villains on this list, so I guess they all get honorable mentions for all those reasons, and that including Big Bad Wolf and Demona. So quick quiz question then. Anyone know what Syndrome's real name is?
Buddy.
Incrediboy.
His last name is?
No, his name's Incrediboy.
Incredible.
Fly home, buddy. No, buddy's all I got.
No, but props are straight away in there with Buddy. It's Buddy Pine, and according to official sources, we do know what his age is. I don't. That's a lot of the facts I looked up. For some reason, they just wanted to give me statistics on age and height and stuff like that for all the characters in the top 10 this week. So, how old do we think Syndrome is?
I'm going to say 10 at the beginning of the movie.
Okay, by the time we get into the film where he is Syndrome and is as he is there in his full glory and his
19.
25?
Bang on! Ding, ding, ding. Winner, winner, chicken dinner with Lud at 25.
Yes.
Bang on. Well done, Lud. And for if you want to know this, he's 5'7" and weighs 185 pounds, which in Europe is 83 kilograms. Random factoid. So, moving on from number 10. Unless anyone else has anything to say about Mr. Syndrome here, Mr. Buddy Pine, we have the voodoo doc himself, Doc Facilier. So, I guess, this is like this, so I guess he's going to kick off most of these, and then we can all contribute if we got anything else to say. So, why Doc, Lud?
Well, same reasons as Syndrome as before, but also just in general PvE, especially in the tower. He's the man. Like, he keeps your team alive. I don't know how I would finish Tower 5 every day if I didn't have Dr. Facilier in my team.
I can't believe you do it every day. I'm so impressed by that.
Hey, it's a good way to try out characters that I don't normally use.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, it's kind of the closest thing to a sandbox, even though it's always a sandman.
Yeah, it's a good way to get some character footage too. If someone asks me to grab some.
Yeah. So the other interesting thing that I keep getting when looking up all these characters, what their native, they all seem to be of some ethnicity or from another country. And in French, facile is pronounced. It means easy. So that's what his name means, and apparently in other Latin language stems, it sounds completely different. It's the only language is French in which they pronounce it that way. Also, he was supposed to be named after his original name was supposed to be Dr. Duvalier, which was named after Francois Papadoc Duvalier, who was the voodoo practicing genocidal dictator of Haiti. So I can kind of understand why Disney ended up not naming him after that guy. Other interesting fact, what is unique about Dr. Facilier? Let's say facial feature wise, out of all other Disney characters, especially male Disney characters. Any ideas? Throw it to the chat, Lonnie.
No, I'm not sure.
He is, I'll give him another couple seconds. No guesses?
Nope.
He is literally the only male Disney character that has purple eyes.
Huh.
That's kind of obscure.
And there's very few Disney. Yeah, there's very few Disney characters in general that have purple eyes. But if they are, they've all been female up to this point, which includes Aurora, Vanessa, Megara, and Judy Hopps. So that is Doc Facilier at number 9, and then coming in at number 8. We have Elastigirl here. So, obviously for the Incredibles. Otherwise, why else, Lud?
She has one of the most potent basics in the game. And since they did the big spell nerf changes, whatever you want to call it, Dad Moves has become a lot more prevalent, which silences your whole team. But Elastigirl, she doesn't care because she'll still smack you for 4K.
Yeah, she does. I mean, I didn't even get her ranked up that much, and she, all her moves seem to do pretty well for me in the events that I've run her through at even lower levels. So, any guesses as to how, I guess, how tall and how heavy Elastigirl was?
Oh my god!
what her age was?
Gentlemen, don't ask any of those questions.
Yeah, right.
Well, she's not here. I know her long limbs might come around and smack me in the head, but I'll take the risk. She is 5'8", so she's an inch taller than Syndrome, and she weighs 125 pounds apparently. So stretchy, and quite light. And then what, if anyone knows what quote she gives when she is in when she's trying to borrow a plane in The Incredibles, what reference to another Brad Bird film does she make? Any ideas?
When she's trying to what?
When she's borrowing a plane, she calls out a call sign to the tower or whoever's the controller, and it makes reference to a particular film. Anyone know what that film is?
No.
Tied into animation.
I have no idea.
It's another Brad Bird film.
Looks like no one in the chat knows either.
Yeah.
Is the chat's broken or what's going on tonight? Okay.
You know what
Basically,
it is?
she called out.
Because Danny's not here.
Right.
Yeah, not pushing it along. All right. So basically, she calls out India Golf Niner Niner, which is IG-99, which is a reference to the Iron Giant, which was Brad Bird's first feature.
Oh, great
film,
movie.
or feature length. Yeah. So there we go with facts and questions on Elastigirl, which brings us on to the thing we were already discussing, the Aladdin teams. Why is Jasmine now up at number 7?
Still asking me? Someone else can field these.
Yeah, it's your list, buddy. So
all right.
you're leading off all of it.
I mean, the Aladdin event's coming back around right now, and you're gonna need your Aladdin characters buffed up pretty good if you want to get that Jafar. He's got a pretty high unlock, if I remember correctly. I think he's a 4-star unlock. Yeah. So, and then she's just like all around good now. So you get that double bonus of a usable character, and that
Yeah,
Jafar
she's
unlock.
Number 7 is pretty low, unless it's just all the Frozen characters ahead of her here.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, this is not like a mystery list as such, like we had with the other weeks. This is just more, it's like so you guys know what you should be heading for, and we're going to give you a few fun facts. As in, instead of stats, now we got what people. Actually, we do. What age do we think Jasmine is? That's a pretty fun one. Go Pucks.
She's got to be pretty young. I'm going to say like 21.
All right. Any other guesses?
Age-wise?
Yeah, Jasmine.
20. I'm gonna go with 23.
Okay. And chat's got any guesses?
Lonnie says 15.
Lonnie says 15.
15.
Okay. She probably knows this. I'm sure she does. So basically, yeah, the story behind Jasmine, and in Persian that is means a beautiful flower that they call Yaz or Yazamin. And the reason Lonnie probably knows that she was supposed to be 15, it's not actually official. In a very early version of the script, there was the law that is forcing Jasmine to get married to someone, and it's supposed to be by your 16th birthday in that culture. But obviously Disney execs freaked out, being that in a more Western culture, 15 and 16 being forced into a marriage might not look so good. They changed the line from married before your 15th birthday to married by your next birthday, and it was never specified her exact age. So yeah, Lonnie would technically be correct if Disney weren't freaking out about lawsuits and looking bad. And but the actress, as a side fact, actress Linda Larkin, who landed the role, was 20 years old when she played Jasmine. So there are your interesting Jasmine facts, unless you can all tell me what is unique about Jasmine as a female character in the Aladdin movie.
She's the only one with a pet tiger.
Yeah, I was trying to think.
There is that's true, but not quite. There's very obvious thing about Jasmine.
I was gonna say
as a female character.
She's the only one with like midriff, but not really, because you got Ariel and all that. I have no idea. I have no clue.
No, specifically within the Aladdin films, Jasmine is literally the only female that has a name. There are no other significant female characters enough that actually got a name in the whole
pretty messed
Aladdin
up, actually.
film.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah, she literally is the only one significant enough in that film to be given a name.
Well, they changed that in the live version of that one.
Yeah. There's plenty. By that time, they've had a few years under their belt of a little more female empowerment and better representation by the live action. So, There we go. And of course, if Aladdin is number 7, and right there next to her needs to be, sorry, if Jasmine's number 7, I don't know if I said that right around, then Aladdin is number 6. So they're nicely together there. She used a bow staff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was unique to her as well, Puddles. She doesn't. What else did we get? Joseph said she doesn't have the veil. Yeah, possibly. But yeah, so that was it. So Aladdin, I guess for the same reasons then, we kind of went over why Aladdin is, actually we didn't really. We just kind of said Aladdin was pretty good and now he's like a bit better. Why Aladdin then, Lud?
Yeah, same reason for the Aladdin event. Also, he's a staple in Kingdom teams. If you're not wailing to get the Incredibles or the Frozen teams or whatever, and you're just looking for a reliable free-to-play team, can't go wrong with Kingdom. And if you're using the Kingdom team, you gotta have Aladdin in there. He is almost as important as Shan Yu, in my opinion, for that team.
Okay, I basically went after Mickey hard when I got my core 5 and the exclusives.
Mickey's the other
Mickey
one in
over
the
Aladdin.
core. Yeah, Mickey,
Which
Shan
one's
Yu,
now better?
and Aladdin. Those are the core 3 on that.
I think Aladdin's now better now, right? Though with that,
So
with Jasmine,
no,
Aladdin
because
with the synergy,
because Jasmine has gotten the boost and she can assist Aladdin. Aladdin is better than Mickey.
Yeah.
Within a Kingdom team?
Yeah, since Jasmine got the boost, and if you're going to play Jasmine, you have to play Aladdin because they assist each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who else would be in that team? So you got Shan Yu as the lead, you got Aladdin and Jasmine, and then
you could go Jafar. You could go. I mean, luckily the Kingdoms. There's plenty of. It's kind of user's choice, right? Depends on what you want to do with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of plug and play in it. Before the boost, I would have said Aladdin and Mickey were neck and neck for who's better. Came down to personal preference and what you wanted. But I gotta agree with Daymaker. Like, since the boost, it just gives Aladdin that little extra that puts him over Mickey.
Nice. Okay, and in terms of Aladdin means devout of faith in Arabic. And what is unique about Aladdin in Disney canon? Any ideas? What makes Aladdin a unique Disney prince?
He's not actually a prince. He's the one that married into royalty.
That is part of it. He is the only Disney prince who actually married into royalty and wasn't born into royalty, as most of the other Disney. But there's also something else that makes him unique as a Disney prince within Disney canon. Any idea?
Is he the only? Is he the only main character prince? I'm trying to think.
Correct. I think, yeah, basically Aladdin is the only one who is the protagonist of his own film.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yep, there you go. So Blood and Cozy there on the tag team winners. Okay, what do we got? His monkey wears jackets. So I'll take that as well.
I like Puddles' answer.
Acceptable. Yeah, that is an acceptable answer. Bonus points to Puddles. All right, so rounding out this Aladdin theme, then we got Genie at number 5. We boosted him to 5 over the duo there. So why is that, Lud? I think Daymaker should weigh in on this one. Was that Lud going woohoo?
That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was me.
Go for it,
All right, so I think you ought to take this one, Daymaker.
Oh, for Genie?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Genie's big boost. He hits harder than what he used to. That was one of the thing. He's a support character, and of course, support characters never really hit hard offensively, but now he does. And it's really good. His silence, he has that rocket silence that hits hard and has a silence, and then he debuffs a character, and he has a good synergy with Aladdin.
Yeah, that silence debuff is real pain in the butt. Actually, any silence. Silence and blind. Not loving those at the moment. So, anything else to add to that, Cozy?
Oh, I'm just, yeah. What I said at the beginning of the stream, definitely loving Genie. Does a little bit of everything. I think Lud, we were talking about it the one time, like he does a little bit of everything that the spells that got nerfed did. You know, like he He can cleanse the debuffs with wand. He does the silence fear, the ability, which is like splash, and then he saves a life and revives, kind of like Golden Hammer, which Golden Hammer didn't get nerfed, but he has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and his
Genie literally bringing the magic.
His save passive got so much better too, because it used to be just it worked like Golden Hammer would save you from one hit, right? So if someone's using something like Mickey's brooms, it would just go right through that anyway. But now it makes them invincible till the end of the turn, so they can get hit with a litany of stuff and they're still standing. It's great. That's actually saved my butt a couple times in PvP.
Nice. So that is why you should be getting all of the Aladdin characters. And for the question, what? Oh, we were going on this theme. How old does everyone think Genie is?
Well, he's over 10,000 years. That's how long he spent in the land.
Yeah, I was going to say he's older than 10,000 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going 1 million. I have no idea.
Million.
I have no idea. Shoot high.
We going Prices Right rules again, lad.
Yeah, I'm going to say 11,000 years.
11,000 die. You got a guess?
I'll take a 1.
I'll take a 1. Oh, he's seriously playing Prices Right rules here. He's going tactical. And chat, any ideas? Genie's age. We'll give you a couple of 20,000 from Lonnie, and give it 5, 4, 3.
Well, Lonnie was right about Jasmine, so I'm not feeling confident anymore.
Okay, no, Genie is 65,000 years old.
That's
so
that predates
so who's closest? It would be Lonnie then. It's Lonnie then. So
Yep.
she is the closest if we're going Prices Right rules. So Odin now sneaked in a 10,001. Everyone's trying it now. Sticking in the 1.
If you're gonna guess late, you gotta guess right.
Yeah. And I think we did this one quite a lot last week as well. Any idea who else was going to possibly play the Genie before Robin Williams was cast?
Before Robin Williams? Oof.
Yeah, there was quite a few actually. There's like over 10.
I'm trying to think like comedians doing their time. Like, I don't know, like Eddie Murphy.
Yep, that's one.
No way.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Shot in the dark.
And that's the reason he ended up being Mushu later on.
Yeah.
Just to kind of make up for that.
That was a shot in the dark, too. Wow.
He would have been great, let's be honest.
He would have done a tremendous job.
Yeah. So the other people were George Wendt, which, that's known from Cheers. I'm not sure that would have fit. I would have been entirely kind of different kind of Genie. And then John Goodman, Eddie Murphy, John Candy, Rodney Dangerfield, and Dan Aykroyd and Steve Martin were all considered options for the Genie.
Steve Martin would have done a good job.
I think Steve Martin would have been good. Rodney Dangerfield, I think, would have been fun for a minute and then got real tired.
It was fun for that one gag where he into a rug, and that was enough.
Yeah, that's probably a good call as why they didn't go with him. And obviously Robin Williams' Legendary worked out perfectly fine. So obviously, spoilers from before, it's pretty much a Frozen cavalcade now. We're going with Sven at number 4. And I don't really think what else do we need to say about Sven? It's
once he gets going, he's a machine, and he just tying him back to Genie a little bit. The two of them, Peter Pan Shadow, get 1 or 2 copies of them, and then just watch the damage numbers. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm huge on Sven. I love Sven. I think he's what?
He's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun to play with.
I see a lot of people replacing him once you get to the top, like with that's the replacement. But I don't know. Like for me, at least where he's at with me, I mean, he's the reason I can come back from battles like consistently. It's you have RNG in play, right? Because it's 20% chance. But I think, man, he can throw out some huge hits. And I'm going to combine him with Genie and see what we can do.
I had someone do an A400 assist with Sven on me earlier today.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, that wasn't pretty.
And if Sven wasn't called Sven, does anyone know what he originally was going to be named?
Sven. Rudolph.
No idea.
Yeah.
Rudolph. No, Sven was originally going to be known as Thor after the Norse god of thunder, obviously keeping up with the localized theme
that would
there,
make
but
sense.
obviously confusion with Marvel and all of their stuff going on at the time, they decided it best not to, and somehow it just ended up as Sven. So, continuing on with Frozen, we've got Olaf at number 3. So, I know a lot of people have been down on Olaf, so why is, apart from obviously the fact you just need him to unlock Elsa, any good things to say about Olaf and his kit?
I think people are down on him because he's not an attack character, and that's typical. I think Olaf, it takes a little bit of imagination to bring out. Well, his one specific role in putting tactics in Elsa is huge, and that's not to be undermined. I just think if people want to replace the Frozen team, he's the one that might get the boot. But the charm is not to be underestimated either. I think Olaf's solid. I mean, he's okay. What do you think, Lud? Like B plus?
Yeah. But just like you said, the combination of the tactics and the charm, and then his basic reduces turn meter by 10%. And like I know that doesn't sound like a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but that can actually make a difference. Of, oh, you think your guy's going next? No, my guy's going next, and now I'm going to hit you with something that's going to mess up all your plans.
Exactly.
He's sneaky good, but yeah, if you're going to replace one of the Frozen characters to put in, I don't know, Dash, it's either Sven or Olaf. The other 3 are integral.
It's funny. I played a lot of Dash Frozen teams lately on stream with my Mirror Frozen team, and those are not that fun. They're kind of crazy. But I have better luck with an Olaf team against a Dash team than you might think, because I can just shut Dash down with the charm and then kind of work around it until I get my Elsa powered up, and then it's over. But he does have to get that revive proc, so that's important.
Yeah, it's only 50%, unfortunately.
All right, so there's Olaf at number 3, more so because you need him for Elsa than being one of the best characters in the world. And he is named from a Norse name, Alifur, which means descendant, probably hinting at the fact that he is Elsa's descendant, and is also Nordic for treasure, and is pronounced Olaf, as in laughing, referring to his role as comic relief, I guess. And what is unique about his animation style during his big number in summer during the film that is different from the rest of the film?
Lud, you take the lead on this one.
I haven't seen it. Don't ask me.
You've not seen Frozen?
Oh, the first Frozen? I saw that once a few years ago. Actually, probably many years ago now. It's on my list of things to watch. Like, I can't think of the English word. Prochain man. Like now. Yeah, it's just been a while. It's like I'm just waiting for the right time to watch it.
So, well, so when you do watch it, Lud, look out for the In Summer sequence, which is his big dance and song number, and for that reason, that is the only time in the film where his elbows are actually allowed to bend.
Oh, hey.
Every time else in the rest of the film, his elbows do not bend. They remain sticky.
Lud, you need to watch it. We need to get you watching that within the next couple weeks. Because I rewatched it, and it was
like, imminently.
Yeah. And then, as we know, Olaf is chatty. I just want to throw this out because I thought it's hilarious. He obviously talks a lot, and he spits out random facts, and one of my favorites is wombats poop squares. I don't know why. That just makes me laugh.
They poop cubes. They really
squares. Yep. So there you go. Not only funny, but true. Which means coming in, I think you can guess, at number 2, we got Kristoff. So again, we were saying you can't lose these 3. What makes Kristoff? What's his best attribute here?
Oh, that early taunt before most other characters go. That like protects all of your damage dealers and support characters.
He does so much. I love Kristoff.
He's so annoying to fight against.
He's got
Kristoff.
He calls assist with Sven. He's got critical chance down. He's got the trolls. He's got a taunt, helpful immunity up consistently, defense up consistently. He's tough.
His taunt gives guaranteed crit to one of his teammates. How ridiculous is that?
And then when someone dies, he heals up, and that's including like Cauldron and like Bucket and things like that. So it's wild.
Oh, do you think that's as intended, or that's a nerf that people are going to start complaining about? Because
Cauldron, Bucket of Soldiers still assist on Cauldron, so until they fix that, yeah, that might all go together, but we'll see.
Fair enough. Okay, and how old do we think Kristoff is?
28.
28. Anyone else?
24, just because Anna seems young.
All right. And chat's got any idea how old you think Kristoff is? Give it a few. While we're waiting for you to say that, come in with guesses. We'll say that Kristoff's. Does anyone also know what Kristoff's last name is?
Please may it be Christopherson. Lanny guesses, and Delnar guess 21.
21.
All right, close. He is actually officially 20 years old, according to the director of the film, Jennifer Lee, and she's also one of the writers. And Kristoff's last name is Bjorgman, which means help or salvation in Scandinavian. Yeah. So that leaves us with, I think everyone can guess, everyone's favorite Frozen princess, potentially. I know you got a choice too, but she seems pretty popular.
Seeing as you can't farm Elsa, it's got to be Anna. And
yeah, I was meaning more in-game rather than the film, because that debate could go on forever.
Anna, she is just amazing. She's got a ton of health, an AoE offense down that can also reduce turn meter, the haste to adjacent. Like, she's just great. Her basic calls random assists. She's fantastic. And the best part is that she's Kingdom. So if you're looking for a fifth for your Kingdom team, look no further, use her. That's who I'm using. Works solid.
All right.
Yeah, Kingdoms, I mean, you're already getting a good amount of buffs around, and so it affects everyone. So yeah, you got the guaranteed 30% speed increase, or speed meter increase. That's killer. In its own, that's killer. And then AoE offense is down by itself is crazy. And then calling us, I mean, everything she does, there's nothing not to like about her.
Awesome. So that's definitely who I'm going to be spending my tokens on. And Anna's name in Norse and Scandinavian means gracious or full of grace, which is kind of ironic because she is anything but. She's obviously more bubbly, daring, and klutzy, as by design. And any idea how old Anna is?
I guess 18 or 19. She's got to be younger than Kristoff.
Anyone else differ from that?
17?
Got a different guess? We got 17. We got 18, 19. Go to the chat. For some reason, Converge is asking, is Kristoff 12? Is that a typo? Was that meant to be 21? Or
Anna's 18. Boom.
Bonnie. Yep, there you go. They are both correct. In the first film, Anna was said to be born on the summer solstice. Obviously, that's a changeable date, so they didn't specify it, but she was 18 during Frozen, the original film. So
close.
There you go, guys. Yeah, everyone's pretty close there. I mean, there wasn't much scope for a variance there, with everyone else's age being what it was. So there you go, guys. This is what you need to do in terms of if you're trying to get all of the meta teams or decent, just slightly below meta teams. I guess now that is Frozen. Obviously, the Kingdom's still there, and now we've got Aladdin, and then to a certain extent, some Incredibles creeping in there as some of the better meta teams. So very nice. That wraps up that segment quite nicely, and I guess all we got left to do is go to the questions in the channel. So does anyone have that pulled up, or I'm gonna just go grab it right here. And if anyone else has questions or queries in the chats right now, or wanted to weigh in on anything in the top 10, now would be your chance. Let's see. Okay, let's go bottom up. I think we covered RuneGate to death, so but I am the walrus basically like so, and then ends it with, man, what did I wake up to today? other question from Insomniac. Well, not quite a question. It's kind of a question about questions. What are the topics for the next live? Well,
you got to tune
go
in
back
for
about
that.
50 minutes. Yeah, go back about 50 minutes and you'll see. What else we got? We got Gremlinks 2031. Does anyone have this Robin Hood ability on level 2 and can tell me if it means the guaranteed crit buff will be prolonged 2 rounds if there is no other helpful effect active? All right, let's go find that then, unless you guys know.
Yes, as far as I know, Robin Hood's ability extends by 1 turn any pre-existing buff that has that uses turns. So you're looking at offense up, defense up, haste, things like that. Things that are uses, so evade and guaranteed crit, are not extended because that's an additional use. That's not an extension of their duration. And I can say with certainty that if there's no buffs on him and you do the guaranteed crit, it will not give 2 guaranteed crits to that character.
Okay, so that's this one here, Roughish Rally. Roguish Rally.
Roguish Rally,
there you
yeah.
go. All right. So there was that one. That was real specific. We got Christopher New Player. The event characters are very good and hard to beat, even for fully geared Kingdom teams. Is it good for the game that the event characters get to have such huge impact on the game, or would the game be more healthy as a whole if you actually had a chance using Hook, for example?
See, that one's a little tricky for me.
But what's the question is? What was it? Say the question one more time. I'm sorry.
His question basically boils down to new event characters are really strong compared to existing characters. Is this good for the game or no?
Well, I think there'll be different opinions here for sure. But being beta, I'm sure. What's your thoughts on it, Lud?
I think you want to have competitive balance, right? So you want existing characters to be able to challenge event characters to a certain degree, but for the long-term health of the game, as much as it might suck to hear, you need to have an incentive for people to spend. One of the big problems in beta is that there wasn't a large incentive to spend on a regular basis because you could just farm everyone. And then there was a whole bunch of different team combinations. Yes, we eventually settled on a meta once 8.0 came around and they changed the game. But before that, like, you could have a really, really solid squad. And I don't mean a squad of 3 or 5, like 20, without actually spending a dime. Long term, that's not sustainable. The game's going to fail if it's not making money. So the way to solve that is the event characters that you bring out, they have to have an advantage over what's existing in the game so that people are incentivized to spend on them, and that revenue drives the game and sustains the game going forward.
Yeah, it's a difficult subject, but it's also these type of games, guys. The whales, there's an advantage to whales. Like that's just flat out. They fund the game, and that's what's going to happen. I think that multi-meta teams are important. I think there should be a lot of teams in the meta. That's got to start somewhere. I think that they could have maybe eased into it a bit more. But yes, there needs to be incentive to spend. And again, long term, there needs to be multiple metas. I'm not mad about this specific one. I get why people are angry about it, but I also think, I'm not surprised by it, to be honest.
All right, and then is it Yagro or Jagro? Put in wants to know about the tier list. So I guess this is for all of the Titans. What is the process for updating the tier list?
Yeah, I mean there's a lot to that. Like obviously we look at the new skills. Like if they make changes to a character, we evaluate what the change means and how they interact with the other characters. With new characters that come out, listen, the Frozen characters were announced, and within 45 minutes, I was asked, where are they on the tier list? Like, I haven't unlocked them yet. I don't know. I have to play around to ask other people what they think, because the tier list isn't just my opinion. It's not just Danny's opinion. It's not just Cozy's, IRL's, SHD's opinion. We get opinions from people outside of the club as well, and feedback on how these characters are interacting and how they're doing and how strong they are. We look at, even if we don't have those characters maxed, we see them in PvP and we see them in Conquest, and we evaluate like what difficulties they give us, what weaknesses they have that way, how we're able to take them down, or like what strengths they have, how those characters work on shutting down our teams. So it's actually a lot of discussion. Cozy, like you're heavily involved in it. Like that like we talk about the characters and compare them like one-on-one, like one against another, one against like a group.
It takes some time.
Yeah, it definitely takes time, and then there's an Excel, and there's lots of tweaking of, okay, well, should Mickey go above Aladdin? And then if there's not a consensus, then it's really discussing, okay, well, why do you think he shouldn't, or why do you think he should? And yeah, it's a multiple day thing whenever there's new characters.
It's basically, I think, to sum up based on reading the rest of the question, it was basically just for everyone's curiosity as to why when a new character comes out, they're not immediately on the tier list the next day, because it's by committee and it takes time.
And the thing too is we don't. Sorry, go ahead, Cozy.
No, I gotta run. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I will see you on stream if you're not here. Appreciate you having me on, Mac. And yeah, good show, guys. Good show.
All right. Thanks, Cozy.
See you next time, Cozy. Thank you, Cozy. And as he heads out,
just to finish,
carry on, lad.
That thought, we don't want to make snap judgments on these characters and say, hey, this guy is really good, this guy is really bad. Like at first blush, when we looked at Kristoff, when he was announced and not released yet, and even like the first couple of days he was playable, we weren't really like high on Kristoff, and a lot of people in the community in general were like, doesn't look that great. And then the rest of the Frozen team was announced, and we saw the interaction that he had with Anna, and all of a sudden I was like, well, wait a second, hold on. If he goes like first or second and he gets that taunt off that protects everyone, that drastically changes how useful he is. If he couldn't taunt with his low speed, if he couldn't taunt until everyone else had a turn, he would be much lower on the tier list. Right? So that interaction he's got with Anna really, really helps him. So it's, we don't want to make rush decisions and placing these guys only for us to release a revision 4 or 5 days later and everyone freaking out said, but you said this person was really good and now you're saying they're bad and I just wasted all my resources into them. Like, that's what we're trying to avoid. We want to give informed opinions on the relative strength of these characters. So it takes time.
So yeah, that's a really great question in terms of, it's obviously a question that comes up a lot in the chat and probably directly to almost all the Titans. So if you are wondering why things don't get updated so quickly and instantly, that is exactly the reason. It does take a lot of time to figure these out and get the really full view of all the characters, and that's when the new updates and revisions come, not immediately when a new character comes out, because that's virtually impossible. You could just throw it on the list, but that's not what these guys do. They give you really detailed, informed information when that list comes out.
The other thing you have to take into account too is the time it takes us to get them to a usable level, or the other people that we're just consulting. And then there's time zone differences, and people have lives, and sometimes I can't get on for a dedicated 45 minutes with Cozy to discuss them for like a day and a half. So like that's time that just gets added on to how long it takes to produce these things. So.
Yeah, so there you go. Entire community and Jargo. That is the process, and give these guys a break. They are working real hard
Their
for.
community is really good. They're super understanding.
Yeah,
You know, they ask and
yeah,
then I say, hey, it'll be a couple days, and like, okay, cool, thanks, no rush. And then, yeah, I mean, they're awesome.
yeah. So that's Miriam's. And so if we go to the chats, we got Converge with he wanted to hear thoughts on dad pants. Everyone's still calling it dad pants now.
I hate dad moves. I find it even worse than what Splash was. Splash, okay, Splash Mountain was annoying. It was annoying to heck. You just like blocked all of your special moves for a turn. The difference with dad moves is it does the same thing, which is annoying, but it also blocks your passives, which if you're running Genie, that causes a big problem. If you're running Elsa, that could cause a problem if you get silenced and dies while she's silenced. You know, anyone who's got like a really strong reactive passive, they can't use it while they're silenced, and that's really irritating.
Right. So that is, but it's got obviously since the whole change up and nerfs and stuff with spells, it's got a lot better, if not highly annoying.
It has gotten a lot better. A lot of that has, it's just comparatively better because the other spells that did something like the other AoE debuffs are not AoE anymore. But also because Wand basically got taken out of the game for all intents and purposes, there's nothing to directly counter dad moves anymore. And so anyone who has it is stuck with it. And just like on a personal level, the Onward event was run recently. It was in the shop. I had the gems for it, but I was like, like Wand is everywhere in my tournament. This isn't going to help me. I'm going to save my gems for something else. And then like 3 days later, oh yeah, Wand's no longer doing what you wanted to. And you know, this spell that you could have bought last week is now overpowered, and good luck. So yeah, I mean, that's you just gotta laugh at it and move on and around it. But it's also at the same time, it's really annoying.
Yep. Well, hopefully that'll be around again at some point.
I will definitely be buying it next time.
You got gems for all this Frozen Madness now, if you want to go and get your Elsa. So speaking of not getting Elsa soon from Lou Duttridge, focus farm Anna over Jasmine. So Anna or Jasmine. Well, you can kind of do both, right?
Yeah, you can do both.
They're more or less separate places.
Yeah, like Anna you get from the tournament exchange if you want to get her there. I'm just gonna go quickly look. To be honest, I've had Jasmine Max for a long time, so I just got to take a quick peek at where you can get her.
Let's see. So Honor is definitely here in the tournament exchange.
Yeah, like you can't get Jasmine
she's
there,
on
right?
a bunch of nodes. No, I don't think Jasmine is actually in any of the exchange stores anywhere. The only one she might is obviously here. She'll rotate in here sometimes. Yeah,
the 7-star
in the
one.
premium. And yeah, everything kind of rotates in and out of here. But if you've got that unlocked, you've probably got less problems with getting Jasmine. I don't think she does actually turn up in any of the other exchange stores besides the one where it's clearly just gems, because everyone kind of rotates in and out of this store. But for the free-to-play and the token-wise, no, you're not getting Jasmine anywhere else besides the nodes. And I could probably just go and do this for everyone. But if you were, for whatever reason, if it's a case of resources for gear and stuff, if you're gonna focus on one, what are we saying? Is it because if you focus on Jasmine, you're not really focusing on one, you're focusing on two, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you kind of need Aladdin to go along with her.
Yes. The other thing too is if you are like strong focusing Jasmine, because she's not in that tournament exchange, you can also pick up Anna tokens that way and just kind of like speed up her farm after that. Whereas if you're focusing Anna because they're both in the villain campaign, then it's really at the cost of either Jasmine or gear.
Right.
So that's probably the way that I would do it. Is focus Jasmine, and then get Anna from the tournament exchange.
Okay, there. So Jasmine you get from 4A elite on villains and 2C elite on villains also. So she is only available. Oh yeah, that's all the hero characters are always on the villain notes. So there you go. She's in 2 places. So if you're early game, you only need to get up to level 2, and if you're a little further on and you want more than 1 node to farm, you need to get all the way up to 4A. And then obviously she's in all these other chests that always have all of them in there. So there you go. Focus on Jasmine as much as you can, and then switch over to Ana. But obviously, if you got some tournament exchange tokens, that's where you can get your Ana and side-by-side farm. And then Lonnie, Dad Moose just dances and silences everyone. Yep, very highly annoying, and works great against Frozen. But I like Wild Imagination more against Kingdom teams. Yeah, Wild Imagination obviously goes great with the Kingdom teams, especially if you've got things like Demona and Hades to just amplify.
The other thing too, and that's a good point that Converge brings up. Kingdom teams rely a lot on their speed, and because they do that, they'll often have used a lot of their abilities before you get the chance to cast that move. In which case, the silence isn't really doing anything. Plus, Dad Moose does nothing against Genie. Genie laughs at it because Genie's strength, especially the longer the match goes on, is his basic. Right? So, I mean, this is the case where you really have, now that there's not overpowering spells, it's a good idea to tailor what spells you're bringing into battle based on who you're fighting. It's a little harder in arena because you don't know who you're going to match up against, but definitely in tournament, you can see what they have and you can pick the right spells going in.
Yeah, so I think that pretty much wraps up the question. I think the only other kind of sub question that I could pick up from the rest of these was, is Elsa the response to Zerg and Dash teams?
Yeah, probably, because she's got that silence that can AoE, and she doesn't offense down directly, right? That's Anna that does the offense down. She doesn't. See, I don't have Elsa unlocked yet, so I don't know all of her moves by heart. I just know that she wrecks my team if I let her get too strong.
Let's see. I haven't really started using either of them yet. So let's see. Ana, which move would it be? So what are we saying Ana does?
She does silence, reduce speed meter. Yeah, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, Ana reduces speed meter.
The thing with Elsa is, like, when she gets up from her glacial armor, if she has those charges, and it's basically like 3 AoEs, one after another she can get off, and it just devastates your team. And Zerg and Dash, as much as they're great, they're really squishy, and if you hit them with strong moves, they go down fast. So
yeah, I normally focus down a Dash if I come across one. Shan Yu will almost take him out. And then like if you're running Kingdom teams and you got all those AoEs, doesn't matter how many taunts or whatever they put up, you just keep blamming them, and especially with Wild Imagination, that takes them down pretty quick. So yeah, is it?
Yeah,
not really gone through this.
I mean, not a direct counter to Frozen or to Zerg and Dash, but it certainly works against them. How's that?
Right, there you go. So I mean, it's just another option. Because they didn't have a lot unless you had raw power and speed. It was really difficult to counteract Dash and a Zerg team, especially now, seeing as taunts are actually a thing. Especially since Foul Play lost its ability to strip at or steal. Oh, I'm missing that quite badly.
Yeah, but, they nerfed all of my favorite spells.
Yeah, basically. So that is it. I think that'll wrap us up for the week, guys. Thank you for dropping by. Thanks to Cozy again for staying in. Hopefully next week we will have Danny back as well, and RuneGate will be over by then.
I am really hoping.
Yeah, we're really hoping to be just bringing you nothing but positive news next
I'm
week.
over it.
Yeah, I think everybody's over it. And speaking of over, I think we are over for this week. So thanks for coming by, guys, and hanging out. Appreciate you. Keep supporting the show, and we will see you all next week. Thanks, Lonnie. After show. After show's real quick these days.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get together those watch parties and those game parties, and then we'll have a real fun, proper kind of party games period for everyone to join in on. Welcome, Puddles. Thanks for coming by.
Hey, thanks for having me again. It was awesome, as always.
Anytime, Lud. And thanks for keeping the community going with everything you do.
No problem.
That is it. I think everyone is heading on out, and we will properly go out now and see you guys real soon.